What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new video. And as you guys can see right now, we have a double XP weekend and we have it for 3 days. So I think right now I'm gonna show you guys some ways to make a lot of XP. And if you're trying to get level 1000, double XP weekend is the best way to do it. But for this video, the fishing rod I'm gonna use is gonna be the challenges rod. And the main reason why I'm gonna use it is because I think everybody could buy it. And I think it's a really good fishing rod when trying to fish for XP. Especially with the passive, it gives you a plus 20% progress speed. But if you don't have this fishing rod, you could buy the Tempest rod and use that instead. The Tempest rod does have overall better stats, however this passive is higher, and plus I already spent all the money on it, so I might as well use it. But before today's update, I had a feeling we were going to get a double XP weekend, and I already went to multiple locations to test out the XP, but I want to go back again. I just want to make sure they didn't nerf or buff some locations, and basically I'm gonna go test out the catch rate for the legendary mythical fishes. For some reason I have a feeling they nerfed the Abyssal zenith. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but it's pretty overpowered. You were making a ton of XP and a ton of money at the same time. The amount of XP you earn shouldn't have changed that much, but you never know. But I think also I'm gonna go test out the Atlantean storm, definitely not the Grand Reef. And I just got clever again. Man, look at this, 106 enchant relics left over. I mean, I do have other relics, but you never know, I might need them for a future update, because those relics all have mutations on them. So these relics right here are the only ones I use, and right now I'm running low. I might have to go buy a lot. Like, let me show you guys something. Let me go to my relics. All these relics I have right here, all these mutations, I got them all fishing in the depths, because I think to this day the depths is the best way to get all those enchant relics, unless they nerfed it, but I haven't been there for a while. Hey, speaking about the depths, the whirlpool is right here. Oh man, wait, should I buy Merlin's luck? Nah, but if you guys are fishing for XP, you should get Merlin's luck. It could help you get more legendary and mythical fishes. I know a lot of people are gonna say you should fish at the Grand Reef, but I'm telling you, this place is literally terrible. I'm pretty sure they nerfed it like 2 updates ago. Like, let me show you guys something. The main reason why the Grand Reef and the Atlantean storm are really good, or were really good, is because they only have 8 fishes. But what made them really strong, these 2 fishes were the most common ones you would get. But since the nerf on the Grand Reef, you get so many fish barrels, so many quality bait crates, so many regular crate baits, so it's not really worth it. But I think there's some hope for the Atlantean storm. But before today's update, I did test it out and I thought it was really good still. But like I said before, we gotta test it out. We just need to make sure they didn't nerf it to the ground like the Grand Reef. But I think for all tests, I'm gonna be using coral bait. I would use truffle worms, but I think coral bait is way better. Yeah, now we're gonna get instant catch, so I'll be right back. I'm just gonna make sure they didn't like mess around with it. Alright, I'm back after checking it out, and yeah, kinda disappointed. So as expected, the Grand Reef and Atlantean storm got nerfed to the ground. But it isn't that bad for double XP weekend. At the Atlantean storm, you could expect to make 1.5 million XP an hour. And as you can see, that is still pretty decent. And not only is it really decent, it's pretty easy to fish here. The main difference now, the mythical fish is really rare. I think on average to get the void angler, you get like maybe 2 or 3 per hour. But if you really want to come here and fish, you do have to use truffle worms. But I feel like it's not really worth it. I feel like coral bait is good enough. If you guys fished here before the nerf, you guys were getting void anglers using any bait. Like even using bagels as bait, you were getting the void angler. So yeah, 1.5 million XP an hour is pretty decent, but for the Grand Reef, stay away from it. For the next location, I'm gonna go to the Kraken pool. Before the update, the Kraken pool was a really good fishing spot to go to. And just like the Atlantean storm, I did test it out, but I gotta make sure. And I'm pretty sure here we catch the Abyssal King, Kraken's Herald, Abyssal Devourer, and Void Emperor. And for these 2 mythicals, you do need truffle worms. But I am gonna be using coral bait. Wait a minute, for Abyssal King and Kraken's Herald, you need truffle worms as well? What? So for all 4, you need truffle worm. Wow. Yeah, hopefully they didn't nerf it, but now let's check it out. Even with coral bait, I was getting a lot of Abyssal Devourers and a lot of Kraken's Herald. Even the Abyssal King was spawning here and there. But at this location at the Kraken pool, on average, you can make 3.1 million XP an hour. And also keep in mind at the Kraken pool, you could catch the Kraken. I mean, if you want to while fishing, you could use sundial totems to try to spawn it. So basically, in general, at the Kraken pool, using truffle worms, you're gonna get way more XP. And even at the Atlantean storm, using truffle worms there also gets you more XP. But I feel like at that point, you might as well come over here. And now for the third spot I'm gonna go to is gonna be the Challenger's Deep. I actually tested out the volcanic vents a lot and I still don't like it. I mean, it's really easy to go to, but you don't make enough XP to make it worth it. But 4 different times I tested out the Challenger's Deep and it was still really good. So I'm gonna see after the update, it's still gonna be a really good spot. But you know what? I gotta double check. I gotta make sure. Hey, look, the Challenger's rod, $2.5 million. Do you guys think this fishing rod is worth it? I mean, it does make fishing really easy, but I'll be right back to finalize my test. Alright, so I'm back and this place is actually pretty decent still. So on average at the Challenger's Deep, I was making 2.25 million XP an hour, which if I'm being honest is actually less than I expected. But now that I think about it, if you use a fishing rod with more luck, you're gonna make more XP. But if I'm being honest with this fishing rod, I get perfect catch every single time. And yes, even with the mythical and legendary fishes, I was getting perfect catch every time with those as well. But 2.25 million XP an hour is actually really good, especially for a fishing rod anybody could buy. I mean, all you need is $2.5 million. But now one of the most common spots everybody goes close to the Abyssal Zenith. And if I'm being honest, hopefully here I make over 4 million XP an hour. Oh, wait a minute, before I forget, the Challenger's Deep, I was not using coral bait. The bait I was using was fish head. But I mean, if you want, you could use coral bait. You're gonna get instant catch and high resilience. However, with fish head, you're gonna get way more mythical fishes, especially at the Challenger's Deep in the Abyssal Zenith. But I'm actually hoping here we make over 4 million XP an hour. But I just gotta make sure, so I'll be right back. So at the Abyssal Zenith, I was getting less mythical legendary fishes. So on average at the Abyssal Zenith, you could expect to make 1.85 million XP an hour. And to be honest, I thought I was gonna make way more. The last time I used this fishing rod at the Abyssal Zenith was like yesterday or 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. So I'm not really sure if the update affected it or not, but yeah, 1.85 million XP an hour. So yeah, maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty sure they just nerfed this location. But now I'm gonna go to one more spot. That's gonna be the Vale of the Forsaken. And once I get there, I'll be right back. It's gonna take me a while to get there. Oh, that's right. It takes me like 10 minutes to get there. It's actually crazy. And also, before I forget, they actually fixed the return to surface. So right here, it tells you return to roselet. Before it didn't work. But below that box, it says right here, return to surface roselet. If you click this box right here, it'll teleport you all the way back to the surface. So make sure you don't click it by accident. Because if you are going to the calm zone and you click that by accident, it's gonna send you all the way back to the top. And trying to come back here is gonna take you even longer. But you know what? At least they fixed it. Because before the update, a lot of people were saying they were getting stuck or they couldn't get back. And I'm pretty sure the innkeeper of the calm zone got fixed as well. I wonder if they patched this method. Well, only one way to find out. I mean, so far so good. Yeah, they didn't fix it. Still works. Unless I fall right now and... nope, didn't fall. Still good. So even after the update, you could skip all this still, which is actually really nice. Alright, we are falling here and hopefully I make a lot of XP here. Man, I barely made XP at the Abyssal Zenith. Okay, but hopefully here I make over 3 million XP an hour. Because if I don't, then I don't know. But before I start, I'm gonna go to my favorite spot. Actually, where is it? Oh, it's right here. Right here, right in front of the Skyla spawn. And also, I have one question. If I jump in the water, does it spawn me back to my spawn point? Yeah, I don't want to test it out. It took me a while to get here. But let me do my quick test and I'll come back and tell you guys what I found. And instead of truffle worms, I'm gonna use coral bait instead. And finally, something that came out good. And now when it comes to XP at the Vale of the Forsaken, I was making 3.12 million XP an hour. And yeah, 3.12 million XP an hour is really good. And on top of making a lot of XP, you could also make a lot of money. Normally, when a place makes a lot of XP, it usually makes you a lot of money. But sometimes a place can make you a lot of money, but not that much XP. And yeah, you don't have to tell me this place is really far, but I'm telling you right now, it's well worth coming over here. Especially for this weekend double XP weekend. And also you have about 3 days to make as much XP as you can. And you guys also have to keep in mind the level cap is going to rise up. So it's going to go from level 1000 to 1250 or 1500. And if it's level 1500, it's going to be a lot of XP. And even if you're max level right now, you should be grinding. So when the level cap comes out, most likely you might be level 1500 already. And I'm pretty sure level 1500 they're going to give us another fishing rod. And you never know, it might be another developer's rod. It's really overpowered. So make sure you grind XP right now and take advantage of it. Because next week they might nerf it, and next week we're not gonna get double XP weekend most likely. And yeah, that is pretty much all I got for today. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.